So today, GK Properties, George took us agents to Ascaya up here in the custom homes area. It's here in Henderson, so as you can see the beautiful strip, that's our view. And we're gonna go ahead and come on in. They do have their reps who are gonna talk to us a little bit about all of the fun details in regards to building here in Ascaya. So stick with me and then we'll go ahead and show you the clubhouse and some of the awesome properties.
So, welcome to Ascaya. We're currently sitting at 670 acres, which is the entirety of this little topography map over here. So, if you're not familiar, we are currently down here in the sales gallery, which as you can see from the base of the mountain, you're already getting that phenomenal view. What is not noted on this topography map is going to be our over 22,000 square foot clubhouse. It has an over 8,000 square foot pool, 6 cabanas, 2 tennis courts, half basketball court, fitness center, kids pavilion, and it's also able to be utilized by the owners for private events, whether you're hosting a wedding, baby shower, there's an event space available. We have kicked off a food and beverage program, so on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, we're now offering brunch options. So that will be an additional fee on top of HOA, which is only $688 per brunch. And that's technically when they would own the home site and not when they actually have their property built. So HOA goes into effect immediately here. What's nice to note is over here, 200, 201, and 202, that is the site of our new family park. Did any of you guys see that review journal article or see any marketing? You did? Nice. So we do have a family park that just got launched within 2 weeks, I would like to say. There's a dog park, there's a climbing apparatus for kids, there's a grilling station, electric car charging station, a little putting green, a large grassy area for lawn games, and shaded structures. So it's nice amenities to add to the community without adding on a separate fee.
Is it one way in, one way out?
Yes, so the way you guys came in is the formal entrance for Ascaya, and that is the only access point. Which the good thing is for a luxury community, you always want to be aware of security. And we do have rovers, and then we also have our 24-hour parking.
And then that's going to be the only clubhouse?
For now, yes, that is the only clubhouse utilized by our owners. So that is the main area.
How many total homes are there?
Yeah, sitting on a little over 300. Now that number does change. So it's dependent on if someone is willing to combine home sites. If you want a little bit more privacy, more square footage, we absolutely allow combinations. So if someone is looking for an acre, that can still happen here.
Wow.
Typically our own home sites here are typically we're on half an acre. Or maybe even a little less. Our starting point is 17,302. That's our smallest one available.
Okay.
Which pricing starts off at $1 million and then can go up dependent on square footage, availability, height restrictions, and
Where
view.
you are on the mountain.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, for the view is more.
Yep.
And one of the best things to do if you do have clients that are interested in Ascaya is to just reach out to us. We'll give you the most current availability because we don't always load every single home site onto the MLS. So MLS is not the latest and greatest information. So reach out to us. We generally have a lot for really anybody's price point, viewpoint. I mean, we've got something to offer. In that packet that you guys have over there, and we'll also send it out to you, we do have some listing sheets with just some listings that we are highlighting. 2 of those are going to be homes. So primarily in Ascaya, we are home sites. However, we do have 2 homes that are under construction currently and available for sale. One of them is going to be down here on Sanctuary Peak. You see that blue button right there, 6 Sanctuary Peak. That is on the MLS. It's listed at $5.5 million. It's built by Studio G Architecture, an absolutely beautiful home, single story. You're right across from our park, so you have beautiful, you look out your front door, you've got grassy, beautiful green. So a really, really nice home. And then our other home is going to be on 19 Rock Stream, also built by Studio G. That is actually the 2023 New American Home. For those of you who aren't familiar with that, it is basically the creme de la creme home. Every year there's one home that's selected, and this is that home. So all of the top vendors are contributing to this home, so it has all the bells and whistles that you could ever imagine, and it is coming fully furnished as well. So your buyer will just basically need to bring their toothbrush, and they are ready to move in. So that is also on the MLS listed at 13.5 million. And all that information is on those listing sheets with square footage, bedrooms, bathrooms, all that. And then in the Dropbox links that we'll send you, there are renderings. So both homes are under construction. There's not really much to see. But if you do have buyers that are interested in seeing those homes, they are viewable by appointment only, and we do require proof of funds.
From the time the lot is purchased, is there a time that it needs to be construction to start?
There is not. So we actually wiped those shot clocks completely clear last year. So once a buyer closes on a home site, they are under no timing to begin construction, identify a builder, anything like that. So this is a perfect community for investors or somebody that knows that they eventually want to custom build, but they're not quite ready to pull the trigger quite yet. They can purchase a home site and sit on it for 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, however long they need. Once they do begin construction, they have 24 months to complete the build, which we aren't really seeing too many challenges with that. Of course, sometimes, you have hiccups with lumber shortages, things like that. But as long as the builder is in communication with our architectural review committee, we're not really seeing any challenges. So, great question.
So they come in with their own architect, or they come to you. You can recommend architects. I was up here 2 years ago, so I know there was a room and we were showing the different architects.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
So we do not have a preferred builder. No preferred builder, no preferred architect. We do have some builders and architects that have worked here multiple times in the past. And we do have a builder list that we share for buyers that haven't done it yet and they kind of don't know where to start. But by no means is that all inclusive, so they can work with any builder, any architect that they like, as long as they are Nevada licensed. We do get a lot of buyers that are coming from California. They've built in California before. They want to build out here and work with their builder from California.
Right,
they can absolutely do that. That builder just has to have reciprocity in Nevada.
And do you guys have to approve the plans or what it's going to be?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have an intensive architectural handbook guideline that must be followed. In here, we have a minimum square footage of 4,500 square feet. The only street that we allow for a little bit smaller is going to be Sanctuary Peak, where the family park is, only because those lots are a little bit smaller. Yet everybody in here builds anywhere from 5,000 to 8,000. It's kind of like that sweet spot with your occasional monster homes of 10,000, 14,000, 15,000. But we have all these guidelines just so that everything in here is uniform. You're not gonna see somebody with a purple house next to you and then a green house after that. We have just kind of some rules and regulations as far as like what kind of trees you can put in, what your landscape needs to look like, and you'll see it as you drive around. Everything in here is fully custom, so it's cool. You have a one-of-a-kind home. Nobody can copy you, but there's a little, I guess you can say everything flows at the same time. So uniquely, it's different, but it still flows.
Does the architecture review committee ever accept anything that's not desert contemporary?
I'm not on that committee, so I wouldn't be able to tell you yes or no. They kind of review everything and make sure everything was in the guidelines.
Yeah, but we are a desert contemporary community, so to answer your question, it does have to adhere to a specific aesthetic. And one of the cool things about Ascaya is that it is a fully custom community, and because we don't have one singular preferred builder, you do get the general desert contemporary aesthetic throughout, the same color tones, kind of materials, but every builder has their own unique touches, so you do get a lot of variety in the community, so it does keep it really, really stunning.
Is this the view?
I would say this is probably the view from like
over here.
The
view is
majority.
right toward the center of that doorway. So you can really see where our views are kind of captured on the left-hand side of the mountain at the moment. The reds are sold. The blues, the large blues are what we have currently available. The browns are accepted offer or in escrow. And then the ones with just these small blue dots, those are all future phasing. So those are not released yet. We don't have pricing on them. They're technically not even recorded with their own APN. So we are not able to discuss those at the moment. But if you have a client, the great thing is if you have a client, you have John Smith who wants to be notified on that, and he's qualified. We pair him with you. So as soon as that starts to become available, we're gonna give you a heads up because you've said notify me. So we absolutely love to work very well with agents. We offer a 3% co-op, and you don't even have to be here. Just link up before. Call us, text us, email us, and we will link you. You say, hey, they're gonna come in today at 3. I'm unable to make it. We're gonna take great care of them, and then we're gonna call you right after and inform you everything that we discussed, and then we, obviously work together using developer documents for everything.
Is the mountain all been completely graded?
Yes, so,
Everything's all.
yep,
everything's all good.
good question. The land was originally purchased in 1989, and then the developer sat on it for quite some time. Then from 2004 to 2009, it was the largest excavation in the entire country. So that's when they went through, cleared it, blasted it, and obviously had the massive excavation, which was the biggest one at that time in the entire country. So in 2015 is when they had the grand opening. So as you can see with a lot of our reds, they released those home sites first at the bottom of the mountain, and they're slowly spreading upwards, 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 which this was released in March or April of 2021, and those went pretty fast. We still do have some amazing view sites left. You always want to be considerate of what's going to be in front of you, chance of obstruction on a mountain. So a lot of these have been height restricted, but we still do have a number of 2 stories with a view. Another thing to note too is if you have investors as far as spec, we allow spec now, which a lot of communities don't. So if someone were to want to come out and build spec in order to sell it and flip it, there's no holdover period. So they could literally put it on the market as it's under construction, which we're seeing that a lot on site here, is that people want something sooner. And maybe they don't want to go through the custom build process because it is lengthy, you have to be very involved. So if someone doesn't want their hand kind of held throughout this and say, you know what, I want that, I'll show up next year with it. That could be a beneficial thing, which is we have those 2 listings. One of them is going to be, the new American Home is going to be completed in January, February of this coming year, and then the one listing on 6 Sanctuary Peak, that's going to be done in May. So if you have any clients looking for something sooner, that could be a great option.
Does Blue Heron build up here? Or?
Yes, Blue Heron is actually a pretty popular builder up here. They've done a number of our specs. We sold one last year for $6 million.
Because people get to see that product all over, and then
Yeah.
if they get in one that they like, they're like, move it here with maybe some alterations.
Exactly, yes. So they'll see something in a neighboring community, and here it's completely custom, so you can absolutely take inspiration from something you've seen elsewhere and kind of create it, maybe put a different elevation, different color palette, and maybe add a room. It'll be custom, and you can put it in here.
So we're here at Ascaya's Clubhouse. It's got this gorgeous view.
that gets built in Ascaya, he has his say in. Pretty impressive as far as its integrity. Yes, so access to this, so there's no extra fee to utilize this. However, we are going to be kicking off a food and beverage minimum, which we think is going to be around $100 on top of the HOA, which you would come in, and I believe there's a menu posted, but which they're going to be expanding on that. I believe there's going to be a lunch service in the future, but people can come here, bring their family, bring some guests, and charge it back to the account. So yeah, feel free to take pictures, take some videos.
Who brought the suntan oil?
It's pretty great here. And if someone chooses to get one of our interior sites, which can be kind of lower, your more affordable pricing, the great thing is they have access to this 24/7. So if you want to host a party or even just have some wine and look at the views, you have access to this whenever you want it. It's all included in your HOA. So it's open from 4 a.m. to midnight.
I overheard someone ask, what's the HOA?
$688 per month, and that starts on when you own the home site, not when there's a property built. So we have a number of people living in neighboring communities, and we'll see them here 5 days a week because they want to use the gym, they want to go swimming, they want to meet their neighbors. It's getting more of a lifestyle and community feel when you're in here. So people won't have a home and they'll still be here all the time, which we want them to. They're spending their HOA money. Please come in, use it, have fun with all the amenities.
So this lot is 88A, and it is listed for 12 million. So let's get up here and check it out. Almost at the end. It's a gorgeous view. And 88A is the lot again that we're on. It is 2 acres. As you can see, it's huge. So that's going to wrap up our Ascaya custom homes tour today. If you have any questions about these lots or the custom homes you can build up here, reach out to me, your Nevada homegirl. Otherwise, give me a like on this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I'll check you on another one.